let's expand that for our viewers joining in. Nearly 4 years after the central government decided to strip the erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir of its special status, the Supreme Court today is all set to hear the petitions challenging the decision on the 11th of July.
Well, a 5-judge constitution bench headed by the Chief Justice of India will take up a batch of petitions challenging abrogation of 370. The top court will also take up the issue whether the petition filed by IS officer Shah Faisal can be withdrawn.
So over those 20 petitions that have been said to be pending before the top court challenging the central government's 5th of August 2019 decision, wherein comes to the Valley parties that includes the National Conference and the PDP, have welcomed the decision of the Supreme Court to form a constitution bench to hear the matter.
They've also expressed hope that justice will be delivered. Their contention is that the manner in which Article 370 was abrogated was against the provisions of the Constitution, as it was done without the agreement of the Jammu and Kashmir Assembly.
Definitely a constitutional case. When we are talking about Article 370, I am 100% sure we are talking about a very, very technical legal case. I only wish they could have been faster than this. For the highest court in the land, on the land, is Supreme Court. They can come out with a landmark judgment because they are on record to have not once, thrice said that Article 370 has taken a permanent, it's a permanent feature in the Constitution of India, and it can't be tampered with.
पूरी उम्मीद है कि हमें सुप्रीम कोर्ट ऑफ इंडिया से इंसाफ मिलेगा। क्यों? क्योंकि 5 अगस्त 2019 को हमारे साथ जाति की गई है और अनकॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल वे के साथ की गई है, क्योंकि जो आर्टिकल 370 थे इसके ऊपर कोई छेड़छाड़ या बात J&K असेंबली के बिना नहीं हो सकती थी, जो कि कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में दर्ज थी। लेकिन उस वक्त की सरकार ने सत्यपाल मलिक साहब को ही जम्मू कश्मीर की असेंबली बना लिया और मुझे पूरी उम्मीद है कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट ऑफ इंडिया हमारी बात सुनेगा, जो हमारे साथ जाति हुई हमें इंसाफ मिलेगा।
When the 5th August decisions are under challenge and the decisions are constitutionally suspect decisions, at least that is expected of the union government to just put on things on hold till the constitutional bench gets an opportunity to decide the matters. On the other hand, the decisions are being implemented in kind of with impunity. There is an effort to make the orders that may be passed by the Supreme Court, inconsequential. So we have been insisting all the time that things should be put on hold so that constitutional bench in the first instance gets an opportunity to decide the matters.
5 अगस्त 2019 को जो फैसले लिए गए थे वो आइन के दायरे में नहीं थे। आइन का जो प्रोविज़न था जिस से कभी किसी स्टेज पे इसको हटाया जा सकता था, वो ना यूज़ करते हुए ताकत के बलबूते पे ये 370 और 3500 को हटाया गया था। और शुक्र है देर आए दुरुस्त आए कि कोर्ट ने ये कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बेंच बनाया है और उम्मीद है कि वो जम्मू कश्मीर के लोगों को इंसाफ देंगे।
Well, Neelashish is joining us here on the broadcast. Neelashish, good morning. The main contention here of the petitioners being that the Constitution and its provisions were not taken into consideration while Article 370 was abrogated, and that violation is something that has been taken up by the Supreme Court of the country, which will begin hearing the matter.
Well, yes, absolutely. The fact that the matter has not been taken up by the Supreme Court since March 2020 is something that has been raised by the petitioners repeatedly. As recently as February this year, the matter was again mentioned for urgent listing, wherein current CJ Justice Gavai Chandrachud had said that he would look into the same. However, now on the 11th of July, a 5-judge bench led by the Chief Justice himself will be hearing this. Let's not forget that the 5-judge bench comprises of the top most senior judges, or the 5 most senior judges of the Supreme Court, which also includes 3 future CJIs. So on the 11th of July, the matter will be taken up, and it will be very significant as far as the procedural orders are concerned. On that date, it is expected that the Constitution bench will decide how exactly these 20-odd petitions will be heard, whether there will be a day-to-day hearing, or how exactly the procedure, the legal process will commence as far as these petitions are concerned. Of course, this matter was challenged as being arbitrary decision as being something that was taken unilaterally without the consent of the people of Jammu and Kashmir. So this matter is very contentious, but now on the 11th of July, this matter will be taken up after more than 2 years. It has been since it was last looked at by the Supreme Court. So, of course, the petitioners...
Right. Nilashish, in fact, over 20 petitions were filed right after, just within days after the abrogation took place. The allegation, rather the contention of the party netas, the regional parties, is that the agreement of the Jammu Kashmir Assembly was not taken.
Absolutely. As we were discussing, Swati, the contentions was that the centre's move was unilateral and it wasn't done with the consent from the people. Now, as far as various parties in this case are concerned, especially if we talk about the parties belonging from the valley, they said that the centre's move under cover of the president's rule is something that they have questioned and have stated that it was to undermine crucial elements of due process and the rule of law. In fact, some of the petitions went on to state that what happened in Jammu and Kashmir goes to the heart of Indian federalism. So these are the kinds of contentions that have been that had been raised when the presidential order had come out on the 5th of August. But now, with the hearing coming up on the 11th.
So the 11th is the date when the matter will be taken up, those several petitions by the Supreme Court. Nilashish, please to stay on with us, because here if we talk about the BJP, on the other hand, has been backing its decision by the central government that was taken in 2019 August, saying that it ended the suffering of the poor and the other marginalized group by dynastic parties of Jammu and Kashmir and has led to the path of development and growth for the Union Territory now of Jammu and Kashmir.
तो अदालत में जब ये मामला डिस्कशन में है, उस पर आर्गुमेंट और काउंटर आर्गुमेंट होगा। हमारी अदालतों ने हमेशा सच को सारी दुनिया के सामने रखा है। हमारी न्यायपालिका के ऊपर सबको भरोसा है, इसलिए जब ये मामला न्यायपालिका के तत्वाधान में है, इस पर कोई भी टीका टिप्पणी करना उचित नहीं होगा।
Obviously, it's a nightmare for all those people whose dynastical politics ended on 5th August 2019. They were the real beneficiaries of this Article 370 because their dynastical politics was thriving due to this shield of Article 370. I'm quite sure that the committee of the Chief Justice, headed by Chief Justice, is going to give their verdict in favor of the poor masses, in favor of the common masses, in favor of those people who have suffered for decades because of it.
Moving on.